slices of tissue in a nutrient.
So come on then, Mick. How on earth do you grow human meat?
I want to introduce you to our nutrient vat.
Hello, nutrient vat, Greg Wise, telepresenter, and your job is?
Well, what its job is, it processes thin slices of tissue in a nutrient-rich mix, which you see here, and then cells start to grow. So over a 24-hour period, these will slowly fuse together into one great big, what we call a cake.
So you're telling me that is human flesh?
Exactly.
But why human meat? Why not animal meat?
That's a very good question. We've got centuries of knowledge of human medicine at our side. We know more about humans than we do about animals. So we've mastered engineering human cells to make these structured flavours and sinews that we expect from the flavours of steaks we eat.
Good Harvest encourages people who need the income to sign up, select their own extraction site, and get paid within the week. You expect to be feeding the nation with this. You're going to need a lot of donors.
Well, it's well in demand, and we've got a lot of people coming forwards, because the other great thing about it is it's an opportunity to be paid.
Would you ever consider donating yourself?
Yeah, maybe I would. I mean, I may have to. My bills are as high as anybody else's. You know, I've got a young family, I've got a daughter to feed, so...
And would you feed your family human steaks?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Already have.
After the donor's tissue samples are placed in the nutrient vat...
Please like and subscribe.
Burger Day.
Hey, that's my check cashing arm, you stupid girl.
Hey guys, this is Tommy Truthful from truthmafia.com. So 58,000 pounds of ground beef recalled from possible E. coli. Now, the elites have a secret language of numbers and symbols. It's called gematria. This goes back to Jewish Kabbalah mysticism. English ordinal, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and so on. Hazard is 58. Matching, lethal. So we should have known better than to try to eat a hamburger. Well, I wouldn't eat one of these hamburgers anyways. Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, none of them. I ain't eating none of their hamburgers. That's just me, though. But we should have knew better than to eat one for $1. You know what I'm saying? And what other movie did they show us that they taint the food in? They cloned Tyrone. If you remember in the movie They Cloned Tyrone, the chicken was tainted and they were using it in mind control. So who knows what they really put in them Wendy's burgers. But when something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. They can't make a hamburger for a penny.
What it do, YouTube? Okay. We still at it like a pill at it, you know what I mean? Come on now. Back at it like a crack habit, you know what I mean? God, hey. Fuck it though. You know what I mean? They done brought me back from the YouTube grave, so you know we getting right back to talking about YouTube slaves. Now in the movie Weapons, in the film, the witch Gladys uses voodoo weapons like thorny branches, her own blood, personal items to target items of her targets to turn people into hypnotized, mindless state. They are used as form of weaponized control where she can make people perform tasks and feed off their life force. The film title Plot Weapons explore the theme of things being weaponized, including people and objects used in ritual. In traditional voodoo practice, knives and machetes are sometimes used as spiritual tools for protection against negative energies and evil spirits. They are believed to act as spiritual shield, warding off harmful influence. Let's see. I got people in Reddit talking about. Says the story itself is riddled with witchcraft and supernatural horror. There are some very real inspirations behind the gripping tale. Okay. So, you know, I bring that up to say the W, right? The witch, the Wendy, the Wednesday, the weapons, right? The W is starting to represent kind of, you know, troglodyte, you know, demonic, satanic type shit, right? The W. Okay. Seems to be some kind of mashup of satanic worship and voodoo doll puppeteering. Okay, we got Villains Wiki. Okay, now notice she looked like, you know, she looked like the villains from Bone Tomahawk. She looked like the creatures from The Cave, right? The movie The Cave, where they went in the cave and had them. You know, she looked like the Hyde from Wednesday, right? It's a lot of, you know, remember the movie Barbarians, the lady in the basement, right? So let's see what they say. Appearance, elderly woman. Now notice they talk about you can turn somebody into a Wendigo, right? This is kind of an aspect of voodoo of turning somebody into something, right? Gladys said, I can make your parents do whatever I want. You know, I turn the kids into like mindless slaves. Now this is one thing I want to pay attention to: the Lily family, right? And we know Lilith used to take kids, right? So I think that's a connection. They're giving a lot of information that I'm just not gonna get that deep into. So let's see what we got, some images before we move on.
About the 1 cent burgers from Wendy's. It's so many questions. I don't even know where to start. Okay. So, where do you get all of the meat for these 1 cent burgers? I thought we was going through a meat crisis, so how are you coming up with all the meat? Number 2, how can y'all afford 1 cent burgers and we're going through inflation? Just think about it. $1, I can get 100 burgers. Where is all the meat coming from? Now, my mom always told me nothing is never free. There's a price to pay with everything. Me personally, the 1 cent burger, I'll pass. Everything comes with a cost to pay. And this is just for entertainment purposes only.
Wait, it's just a movie, man. Like, calm down.
Yo, you know, so they put some color on it, the new one. But when you look back at the old ones, you know, she was pale. So it looked like they've been flipping in between pale and unpale, right? I'm talking about this one right here where she had that little house on the prairie collar, right? And I remember we had videos talking about the stripes. We know the Masonic stripes. We know that they represent duality, creatures from the other side. So, you know, the pale skin. This is what you're gonna get with Wendigos. Let's see. And remember, it's funny when she turned that one guy, the teacher, into a zombie. It looked like he was kind of like how those Simpsons character was, like a raging. Hold on, let's pull him up. All right, where's the teacher? This guy. Right, he looked like he ate the Simpsons burger. Right? So, now another thing, you know, when you look at the Wendy's logo, she got the pigtails, right? And with the Wendigo, they were saying gluttony. So let's pull that up. All right. So it says Wendigo, mythical creature, evil spirit, folklore, Algonquin, speaking of people, Algonquin peoples of North America, known for rapacious, insatiable hunger for flesh, associated with greed. Okay, greed, selfishness. Who does this sound like? This is the troglodyte natural behavior in its natural state. Greed, selfishness, and cannibal, right? And is to be able to possess humans, right? So here we go with the weapons, possession, right? Gladys, right? Possess humans or be a supernatural giant with a gaunt skeleton and emaciated form. Remember, the lady in Weapons was emaciated. She was like getting her life form back. No scientific term for Wendigo, though Wendigo psychosis is a term used to describe a state of mind which people develop an intense craving to eat human, right? Now, human transformation, a person who has been driven to commit acts of cannibal is transformed by a curse or malevolent spirit into a creature with insatiable hunger for human so-and-so, right? So it's supposed to be a myth, cautionary tale against greed, selfishness, and taboo of, right? But you see, I'm just saying how you can turn into some historical cases such as the 1879 M of a family by a swift runner involved claims of Wendigo possession. Modern interpretation. Wendigo has been a popular figure in modern media, where his image has been adapted and reinterpreted. However, the modern interpretation of Wendigo has sometimes been influenced by external sources. Blah, blah, blah. So let's see, we got Wendigo fever, right? It's getting real. Let's make it a real thing. Okay, Wendigo fever is not a real disease, but is used in two main contexts: as a fictional condition like Dungeons and Dragons, and as a reference to a psychological condition, Wendigo psychosis, a cultural syndrome involving paranoia, so-and-so urges and delusions of being a monster, while the fictional fever causes symptoms like transforming into a monster or craving human body. Wendigo psychosis is a real psychological condition linked to extreme stress, famine, and cultural factors. Hallucination of being possessed by a Wendigo spirit and designed to eat humans. Okay, so it's getting real, right? Now it's a. That look like old Charlie. Let's see, we got Wendigo fever. Got nothing fancy to see here. Okay, in the movie Weapons, you had Alex Lilly. That's in the movie. Okay. Let's see. So Carrie Christopher on playing Alex Lilly. Right? Now it's funny, her name was Lily. Oh, I guess it's him. This is Lil Lily. Alex Lilly. Okay, now it's interesting because Lilith and children. Okay. Lilith's relationship with children is depicted in folklore as a dangerous and vengeful one, often making her a demoness who harms or caves, newbies, However, she is also said to be the mother of many demonic offspring, and some myth she has a pact with angels to spare children in exchange for a daily loss of 100 of her own. Right? This complex relationship stems from her story as Adam's first wife, who left the Garden of Eden after refusing to be subservient to him. Okay? Harm to human children struggling with, okay, Lilith is often portrayed. Okay? The amulet. Okay? Do you understand what I'm getting with Alex Lily? Weapons. Okay? Wendigo, Wendy. She was forced to swear an oath to 3 angels to spare children whenever their names appear on an amulet, but this oath resulted in so-and-so of 100 of her own. Unwanted offspring. In some version of Lilith's story, Lilith's children are cursed and don't make it. In other tales, she bears many children who plague mankind. Okay, you got books out there, Children of Lilith. Revenge, motherhood, power. Okay, Lilith has become a symbol of both motherhood and childbearing for some well as other of the darker side of femininity. Now, we did a video on that, the satanic femininity. Right? Femininity has a satanic side. So, Lilith come get the kids, and you got Alex Lily, right? Lilith children. Let's take a scroll. Let's take a stroll. Right? You can see kind of not that Adam and Lilith have kids. The unwilling. Okay, this is actually where feminism comes from. If you really get down to the root of it. The Ascended Masters, Children of Lilith series book. Okay, Ascended Masters. Submitting to the incubus. Okay, the first sisters, Lilith and Eve. Come on now. Mother Lilith. Okay. Alright, so you got a little, and then you see Ishtar, right? It get deep. We ain't gonna get too deep into Lilith. There's this movie named Cryptic. Let me see. I think it was spelled with a K. Let me see. Yeah, this is it right here. This movie was about missing kids, missing people, like the Sukkah, if I remember correctly, the Sukkah. Right, you see the red over the head, right? You see the red go with the forest. And I believe this was about a Wendigo. Maybe we read a synopsis. But yeah, I think this was about a Wendigo with the Little Red Riding Hood, right? Sometimes when you go hunting for a monster, the monster finds you first. A woman searching for a missing cryptozoologist leads to her own riveting cosmic quest for identity. All right, let's see what Wikipedia say. Canadian horror film directed by some guy, a cryptid hunter who has disappeared while hunting for the Sukkah. Okay, a mysterious forest creature, and a woman herself encounters the Sukkah while searching for Bob and abandons her life to embark on a new quest for meaning and identity after the encounter eliminates all her memories of who she used to be. All right, so let's look up the Sukkah. Images. Now, I guess they showed them, but I thought they had some crazy scenes. may have to go back and maybe put, but you know, they be flagging me so hard. I ain't even gonna put no scenes from the movie in here. But if you go back and watch this movie, Funny the Jester came up, right? The Joker. When I told you the lady Gladys looks like the Joker clown, right? You got the clown. Right, so you see there's a connection here. I will put the clips from Cryptic in here, but I ain't even gonna risk it.
You ate at this restaurant before. Who is the girl used for advertisement? According to history, this is the little girl that's behind this image. Or is it? This image does not represent the little girl I just showed you. This image represents somebody else or something else. Do you know who this really is? Bro, this is P.P. Longstocking. Everybody know who P.P. Longstocking is. She was one of them girls that like to go on adventures. She loved pirates. She even loved to dress up as a pirate. She was just this beautiful kid that was just enjoying life. But something was sinister about her. She was so young, but yet she was already into dark magic as she's staring at this crystal ball. It just shows that this girl is already learning the arts of black magic. She had a bed floating in the air with an air balloon. She had to learn all these abilities from her grandma, which was some type of witch. She even taught her a ritual that if they die, they come back to life as an entity. So one day she was driving the boat, and when she was leaning over to look at the fishes in the sea, she accidentally fell in the water, and she ended up drowning herself, and a year later her grandma also died. But remember, they did a ritual to bring them back alive as some different type of entity. And they did came back alive, disguised as two innocent looking twin girls. But you see, they were spirits, but they needed a body of flesh. They may look like they're human beings or living in the flesh, but they dead. The only way they can receive a body of flesh is through worship. So they both morphed into each other and became one. And she changed back into her normal self with the red hair and wore that same shirt that her grandma is wearing, and took over the original Wendy's image and disguised herself as the advertisement for Wendy's. So anytime people come to the restaurant and they stare at that image and they drink the shakes that has the image on them, they giving it power to come back alive, and they become flesh from there. I'm sure you
highly anticipated burger.
Pay attention.
Krusty, what can you tell us about this fantastic new sandwich?
I'm glad you asked, Kent. We start with grade A beef, feed that to other cows, then kill them and serve the unholy results on a 7-grain bun. Burger squared!
The math checks out.
And now this lucky reporter will be the first human to sample this delicious crime against nature. Juicy, flavorful, with just a hint of...
Hey, that's my check cashing arm, you stupid!
Want you to know.
Wendy's are merging into one secret super brand. They've been hiding in plain sight. For decades, two of America's most iconic fast food mascots, Colonel Sanders and Wendy Thomas, have smiled at us from signs, commercials, and drive-thrus. But what if I told you their eerily similar red and white color schemes, their 1950s Americana nostalgia, and even their logo placements were all part of a long game? The theory: KFC and Wendy's were never rivals. In fact, they've been connected since the beginning, part of a decades-old corporate plan to eventually merge into a secret ultra-brand, Project Winfernal. Puzzle piece, the clues are everywhere. The red and white connection. Both logos use the same bright red background and clean white accents, a color psychology combo meant to trigger hunger and trust. Coincidence? No. It's called brand synchronization conditioning. The faces never age. Wendy is forever a little girl. The Colonel, always a white-haired Southern gentleman. Immortal corporate symbols. Some say they are AI-generated avatars, prepping us for a new food tech empire. Hidden symbols. Flip the Colonel's bow tie upside down. It looks like a small stick figure body. People online claim it's a tiny man controlled by a bigger force, like Colonel Sanders is a puppet. In Wendy's collar, some have spotted the word MOM spelled out in her shirt's design. What if it's a code for merge our mascots? Geographic clues. Many KFC and Wendy's locations are placed within walking distance of each other. Why? To normalize them as partners, so when the merger happens, the transition feels natural. 2025 patents and leaks. Internet sleuths uncovered a trademark filing called Kentucky Wendy Fusion with an unreleased logo of Wendy and Colonel Sanders' glasses holding a chicken sandwich dipped in chili. The application was quietly withdrawn, or so they say. Fire the plan. Project Winfernal. In 2030, KFC and Wendy's will merge into a single fast food megachain.
Did you know the true and tragic story of the red-headed Wendy's mascot? Hello, I'm Wendy. When I was a little girl, my mother and I moved to America from Ireland. My mother used to talk to herself and say crazy things like that other people were in the room with us, even when we were alone. Sometimes I thought that I could hear them whispering too. She was put into a mental hospital and I was taken in by foster parents, and they were starting a restaurant to compete with my new father's lifetime rival, Ronald McDonald. They liked my fire red hair and thought it would attract attention. My family decided to use me as their mascot.
As I grew older, I started to hear voices telling me that I was being used as a symbol of evil. When I talked to my parents, they wouldn't remove my image. I was furious, and the voices told me to run across the street to Ronald McDonald's restaurant. With his help and the help of the voices inside my head, we snuck into my home that night and unalived my entire family.
I ran into the woods where no one would find me. When I reached a river, I cleaned myself off, but the blood in my hair wouldn't wash out, and it was now even more red than before. I was finally caught and taken to the mental hospital where I was reunited with my mother, but anytime I look in the mirror, I'm reminded of the false symbol I'm seen as all over the country.
There always is. The main conspiracy surrounding Pippi Longstocking is not a traditional, but rather ongoing debate, a serious betrayal of colonial racism. So it's funny, it's funny, right? Pippi Longstocking is the secret granddaughter of Superman. Pippi's mother is Kryptonian, right? The cryptic with a K, Kryptonian. It's funny, we just talked about that. So she often makes fun of unreasonable adults, especially if they're pompous, and her angers come out in extreme cases. Secret scandal behind Pippi Longstocking. You know, they talking about racism. Okay, now let's look up some images, because I'm sure it's some bullshit up with this. Oh, I see she picking up the horse. The author's name is Astaroth. These are names of demons, fallen angels, shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. You know, Pippi got to have some connection with this. Pippi. Okay, she looked like a witch. She got kind of a witch vibe to me. But my thing is, she kind of was giving that orphan look, right?
Wendy.
What's up, Wendy?
I hope you're hungry. And
I
we
can
just
eat,
got a
girl.
fresh delivery of meat and fries that's got your name on it.
That's what I'm talking
People
about.
love to eat here. It's almost like they can't stop.
You come in there, Dave.
Truthfully, I don't want them to. Want a single?
Dave invited you a long time ago.
Maybe a triple? Don't forget some bacon.
You want them
We got
triples with
whatever
bacon
you
on?
need. Don't you just love French fries?
Yes.
We can biggie size them for you so you won't ever have to worry about running out.
Throw yourself in there too since you standing in there, girl.
About cholesterol or sodium. You only
Don't do
live
no
once,
sodium.
right? Where's the beef?
Hold on, man. You ain't eating no raw beef now.
We got you.
I don't know. This don't seem right. I got to go back. I'm going back to the fish tank.
And I'm gonna show you that is, like you said, the phrase redhead orphan most commonly refers to the fictional character Anne Shirley from Annie, from the musical Little Orphan Annie. They got the story of Annie. Anna, Anne, and Annie. Spunky redheaded orphan Grace. Right, what's up with all the Anns? Spunky redheaded saved orphan girls named Anne, Annie, Anna. Right, little redhead orphan girls. Pippi Longstocking. Okay, here we go. Pippi Longstocking and the world of redhead orphan girls. Okay. Pippi Longstocking creeps me out. I'm sure there's some good information here, but I don't think I'm gonna read through all that. But I'm going somewhere with this, right? You got a little orphan Annie. I notice she got the 2 pigtails, right? Gluttony. You turn into a Wendigo from gluttony. You want too much, insatiable, right? And this is giving Ice Spice a little bit. I'm getting Ice Spice vibe. But see, y'all remember, right, the voodoo doll, Raggedy Ann. Okay, 1918. Let's see if anything come up. Oh, I put So the term Raggedy Ann voodoo typically refers to Annabelle doll, a Raggedy Ann doll that paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren claimed was haunted by a malevolent entity. While the original Raggedy Ann dolls are innocent toys by John Gruelle, right, that's an interesting name. The Annabelle, Anne story is separate supernatural legend inspired by an actual doll investigated by the Warrens, according to the sources like the Raggedy Ann Wiki. Okay, so the link to voodoo. The connection to voodoo is often made to the doll's alleged ability to influence events and the supernatural claims surrounding it. It is important to distinguish the fictional horror movie portrayals from the real-world legend of the Annabelle doll. The Warrens' investigation has been compared to Amityville and other paranormal cases, which often feature claims of demonic possessions and other supernatural phenomena. Right? So Raggedy Ann is the one that came to mind with me. You see, the voodoo doll. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. Okay? I'm gonna get deep with this redhead shit. I'm gonna bring y'all. I'm gonna do a part 3 to this motherfucker. Okay? Raggedy Ann the voodoo doll. Okay, here we go. Chicago can relax. Annabelle the haunted dog isn't there anymore. Okay. You see all the redhead voodoo dolls. So this is what I'm saying about Wednesday, the whole 9. Raggedy Ann the voodoo doll is Annabelle. And we know the movie Annabelle horror. Annabelle got the 2 pigtails. Come on, is anybody listening with the red ribbons? Okay, rosy red cheeks. It's like a clown, pale skin. So Annabelle is Wendy. Okay? Annabelle is Wendy. You got the 2 pigtails. Okay? So this ain't gonna hold y'all too long. You know what I mean? We just gonna throw another grenade over the wall. You know what I mean? We're gonna hit you with another one, another banger, another drop. Okay, we call him a drop from a plane. You hear me? So Wendy is weapons. She's Gladys. Gladys is, Lilith, right? Raggedy Ann, right? And I'm gonna show you this redhead shit. This is like, okay, think about the Phoenix from X-Men. She got the red hair, right? So I'm gonna show you how deep this red hair shit go, right? The Phoenix, right? But we know the Phoenix is associated with Freemasonry too, right? The Rogue, right? Rogue had the red hair, right? So in Freemasonry, they use the Phoenix a lot, right? See the Phoenix. It's one of them real famous for the Phoenix, rising from the ashes. There you go, right there. Phoenix rising from the ashes. Notice it's red. But let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. Donate if you're feeling, generous, charitable. And, I'm out.